Hi, I'm Dax Murphy, and today I want to talk to you about why it's so important that you invest in personal development. You know something, we are told that personal growth is important. We're also told we need good personal development plans if we are going to develop our careers and our lives. However, if we're honest, most of us rarely take this advice seriously. Most of us fail to take full accountability for our development. I mean, I know that I have failed to in my life, and I just want to tell you a short story. So when I was 23 years old, I was working in my first management role in a mobile phone company, a big global mobile phone company. And it was a really good company to work for. I've been given loads of training, loads of opportunity, and I was performing well. And at the time, I was the store manager of a site in a small town. And mobile phone sales were booming at this point in time when I was 23 years old. So enough for this particular mobile phone company to have two stores on the same high street, just 300 yards away from each other. And things were good for about a year in this store. And then suddenly, out of the blue for me, this mobile phone company decided to close one of the stores. So they decided to close the site that was 300 yards away from my site. But what happened was that all of the individuals from my store and the other store were then rated for their performance and their potential, with the idea being that the best people would keep their jobs and the rest would have to be made redundant. I got made redundant. I was given a lower rating than the other store manager who was in the store just up the road. And at the time, I couldn't believe it. Our performance was similar. Our service length was similar. Our ratings, though, well, they obviously weren't. And the other manager's ratings were better than mine. And what I realised was that I'd let this mobile phone company take care of my personal development. And when it mattered most, I was left wanting. What I learned is that my personal development is my accountability, and that nobody in the world should take more care for my growth more than me. That mobile phone company, it was a really good company, still is a really good company, and they looked after me. And I had a great line manager who cared for me and looked after me, gave me some autonomy. But leaving my growth in their hands would only ever result in one thing. When it really mattered, I would be left wanting. Of course, it's important to take what a company and what your company has to offer with grateful, open hands. But it is obvious that you have to do more. So that's what I did once I was made redundant. And this mobile phone company, they were really kind to me. They gave me a temporary manager's role in a different site for 6 months just to cover some maternity. And then after the 6 months, I would have to leave the company and be made redundant. So in that 6 months, I absolutely went to town on my development. I read more books, went on management courses, got mentors, and took full accountability for my development. And guess what? At the end of that 6 months secondment, due to my growth, due to my performance, due to the way that I could articulate how I was developing myself, this mobile phone company offered me the flagship store in the UK. A year after that, I was promoted to an area manager. And at the time, I was the only store manager that had ever been able to move from store manager to area manager within this company. So it was a unique, groundbreaking thing. So what had changed, though, in this last 18 months? Well, it was me. I'd started to take my personal development seriously. I was accountable for my own growth. I didn't leave it in anybody else's hands. I tell you this story so hopefully you can see how important your personal growth is. It literally defines your success. How much you grow, how much you develop defines your success. So don't rely on your company. Don't rely on your boss. Don't rely on anybody else to invest more in you than you. Take hold of your personal growth. Drive it. Don't be left wanting in those moments where you need it the most. Hi, it's Dax again. Hope you enjoyed the video. if you did, please could you do just one thing for me? What I'd like you to do is just share this video with somebody that you feel like it could help or resonate with. And then finally, just to let you know, my book, Emerging Leadership, is out now, and it's a book filled with advice with over 300 leaders. So I've interviewed over 300 people over the last 5 or 6 years, and this advice has been put into this book. It's easy to read, it's full of great advice, it's pick up and read basically, so you have the challenge and the solution on 2 pages, and then you can read this at any time, so you don't have to read the whole thing. You can just pick it up, look for your particular challenge and read through it and get some world-class advice from director level leadership. I'll share the link down below. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week.